my adventurous photographers, and welcome to another editing Pick My Brain video here in Lightroom. I am here in my loft of my RV in like the coziest sweater known to man. This is a photo that I took at Rifle Falls State Park. I am doing an entire other video on this, just on how I took this photo, because I actually took this without a tripod. I know you see all these perfect photography pictures and they're beautiful, but sometimes in travel we don't have the right conditions. So I think that the best travel moments and the best travel photos comes from adapting to the conditions that you have, not the conditions that you want. So anyway, this was taken at Rifle Falls State Park. We're going to be editing this. As you see here, this was taken at 50 millimeters, a fifth of a second at f/22. Ugh, I know. And at ISO 100. So as I said, it's not as crisp as I would like it to be because of that aperture. But you know what? I just had some issues with it being a little overexposed. So I didn't really like, it was just very, very tricky conditions. I challenged myself on this one. It is not a perfect photo. So we are going to see what I can do with it in Lightroom here. So I am going to start and I'm going to see if it needs to be cropped. It's honestly okay. Okay, auto did that. I think I actually like it there. Okay. And then I am, I didn't even shoot this in RAW. Man, so many mistakes are being made here, but we're going to see if we can salvage it. Normally I do shoot in RAW. Ooh, it's going to be, I'm just so mad at myself. Okay, you know what? Photographers are human too. We make mistakes too. It looks a little blue to me. I don't know if I love that. So I'm going to warm it up just slightly. Maybe add some green tones in there. Maybe I'm kind of, for this shot, I'm feeling like nice midday jungle vibes here. And okay, with the vibrance, I'm not going to touch it. Now I'm going to go back up to the exposure here. The histogram right here looks pretty decent. So it's good exposed. As I said, I was having some issues with exposing this because I was shooting at like a fifth of a second and eighth of a second. And normally you would even go longer. But as I said, I didn't have a tripod. So I really challenged myself to get this long exposure waterfall shot without a tripod. But the exposure was just, I don't know, it was just really giving me some issues. So I'm going to lower the exposure a little bit, even though the histogram says differently. We increase the contrast, take some of the highlights out of that waterfall. Okay. Maybe might add some blacks into it. I kind of like the contrast of that. For the S-curve, I might do a gentle S-curve here. Maybe lower the shadows just a little bit. Maybe bring up the lights slightly. Bring up the height. Yeah, maybe do that. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of S-curves, but you do you. Now let's move to this color mixer here. And I'm going to, let's just focus on the greens first because the primary color of this photo. I'm going to increase them slightly. Let's see what hue I want. Okay. I actually kind of like it somewhere near the middle. I don't want to go too crazy, but I also want to just increase the saturation just a little bit. Yeah, I kind of maybe prefer a little bit more green than yellow. And I honestly don't really see a lot of colors here. There might be some slight reds and oranges, but it's really just, okay, lots of yellows. Ooh, yeah, lots of yellows. Okay, so maybe I'll increase the saturation here. Maybe I'll pull them a little bit more towards green, just slightly, just so that we're staying cohesive here. Okay, I'm not going to do point color. For the shadows, I think I might go a little bit in the green. As I said, I'm going for that like really vast jungle scape here. Okay, so I like that just so slightly. And then for the highlights, I might put them kind of more towards pink. We're going to do that color wheel here just to balance out that photograph. Okay, now here's where it's going to get a little fun because as I said, this is not a perfectly sharp image. I did not have a tripod and I also was shooting at a very high aperture. So it's not crystal clear. So I'm going to increase the texture just a little bit, the clarity just a little bit, and I'm also going to dehaze it just slightly. For the vignette, let's see what a -11 looks like. That's like my magic number. Okay. So far, I am liking it, okay? I am liking it. And then we unfortunately did not shoot it raw or else I would denoise it, but whatever. So maybe I'll do some super resolution. Not as good as denoise. As I said, bad photographer. I'm going to slap myself on the wrist with this one. But we work with what we've got here. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so you can kind of see a little bit of the streaks here, but I still want them to be soft and airy. So that's pretty much for this section. Now let's go. I just don't love the sky here. I don't know. It just looks really like blown out and weird to me. I could keep it. Let's see if I could just remove the whole darn thing here. We're going to use generative AI. Sometimes I don't know what my thoughts are on AI. Can you comment your thoughts on AI with photography? I don't know if I like it to use like an entire scene. Sometimes it just makes me angry, you know? Okay, I feel like I like that one the best. But see, I don't know. I just feel like the sky is so distracting in this case. So, okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it for this time. Okay, so now let's go into masking. This is absolutely my favorite part of photo editing is masking. This is just where we are isolating certain points of the photo. Now with this photo, one thing that I would self-critique on is that although I know that the waterfall is the subject, it's just not as apparent to me that that is the subject. So I'm going to try to maybe just highlight it a little bit more. As I said, this is a humbling one because I like it, but man, I could have just done so much better. So let's go with the linear gradient, and I'm just going to kind of go through, and I'm just going to like darken the areas that's not the waterfall, you know, like just really drawing the eye in here. Also, another thing that is standing out to me as I am editing this in real time is that this rock is stealing a lot of the show here. So I'm going to take a radial gradient. I don't want that to be my subject. That's not what I want to focus on here. I want to focus on the waterfalls. So let's just like bring that down just a little bit, just so it's not as like, I don't know, just prevalent there. And then I'm also going to highlight some of these waterfalls here, and I'm just gonna bump up the exposure just a little bit, maybe increase the contrast just a little bit, just to make them try to stand out just a little bit more. As I said, I'm not sure I love this thing right in front of my subject. But, you know, that's how we get better. That's how we learn. Sometimes we take some photographs that are just not our best. And there you go. So I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to add a radial gradient also over here to this waterfall, because this waterfall is also a part of technically my subject. And maybe like this one just a little bit over here. And I might go down the clarity just a little bit just to make it seem like I did do a longer shutter speed than I did. Maybe I did do a tripod in there. But yeah, really just focusing on the highlights and the exposure, just kind of moving the slide, seeing where I want it. So let's look at it. There's before, there's after. I do like it. I do think that this area right here needs to be a little darker, it is stealing some of that attention right there. It is looking a little dark, so I might actually bump up the histogram just a wee bit. Or not the histogram, the exposure. You get what I mean. And there is before and after. I think that is a massive difference in what it was versus where it is now. Obviously, it is not perfect, but you know, I will take what I can get. And because I shot this at such a high aperture, I'm going to export this, and I'm also going to put it into a tool called Topaz AI, and I'm just going to see what it does. So let's try that. Okay, so here we are in Topaz AI. It is currently analyzing it. And as I say, you see it just that really high aperture and me shooting it handheld. Okay, it's kind of doing a weird... Oh, actually, okay. It's actually not bad. Let's like zoom in on this tree and see what it did with this tree. This basically uses AI features, again, with all this AI, man. At least we're kind of using it for good, I guess. And I'm just kind of doing this just so that I just get a little extra oomph just because of all of the, you know, A, mistakes I made, and also B, just the way that I chose to shoot in this. It's just taking its sweet time today. At least I'm cozy in this RV, editing my photos. That is the enhanced version. I do like it. I'm going to go ahead and export it, and that is the final image. So this right here is the final image of this handheld long exposure waterfall shot. What do you think? Would you edit something differently? Would you do something different? Again, here is the before, and then here is the after. I want to thank you so much for watching, you know, like my weird and chaotic and spontaneous photographer editing brain dump. If you do like these, definitely let me know in the comments, and I will keep doing more of them if they are helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and here's to living adventurously through your lens.